and welcome to Unity North Spiritual Center. My name is Howard Grintz. I'll be your worship assistant today. Unity North Spiritual Center, we are an inclusive community, and we welcome and accept all people. We are part of a larger worldwide movement founded by Charles and Myrtle Fillmore in 1890 as a result of their personal healing. Unity World Headquarters has published the Daily Word magazine since 1924 and have been holding prayer vigil for over 134 years through their prayer ministry, Silent Unity. So prayer is the heart and soul of Unity. Now, today's service wouldn't happen without the involvement of a lot of people. In fact, no one is left out. Our tech team, Martha and Tracy, are here doing the sound and video. We got Nancy and Sarah providing music. We've got Nancy Helvig will also be the chaplain, and I think she's also the janitor, the custodian, and our healing facilitator today is Julie Hollingsworth. And of course, the most important people in the room are you sitting there and you online. Because if nobody shows up, then what Tracy and all of us are doing is called practice. And as soon as one person shows up, we have service. And today that service is being supported by Reverend Barb. She's back here filling in for Reverend Kathy, who's taking the day off. So join me in the vision and mission statement, please. So our vision statement, centered in prayer, we create for all a world of love, harmony, and abundance. And our mission statement, celebrating spirit, exploring truths, awakening hearts, inspiring dreams, serving community. And below are the core values that help us arrive at the mission and vision statement. So please stand for our opening song. So we've been welcomed, and now we want to take just a moment to greet each other. We have people from all over the Twin Cities. We have people online from California to Michigan and back. We're all glad you're here online. We're certainly all glad you're here in person. If anybody's new here and would like more information, please see one of the ushers or one of us after service, and we can provide that information for you. I don't see any new names online, and if there were, you just can submit your information in the chat, which is private and will be sent to us, and we can contact you and get your questions answered. So we are so glad you're here in person and online. We're pretty glad that we're here, the team that's helping this happen today. So I'm going to take a risk and assume that we are also glad that we are all here. But we truly are blessed by each other's presence. And we are right here, right now. So prayer is the heart of unity. I've heard it said that prayer is the communicating to, and meditation is the communication from. And that works in my head pretty well. So let's begin our service. Let's begin our communication to. We can pray with words, as we know, acts of service. And we can pray simply by breathing with intention. All are forms of prayer. There is no one type of prayer. So please join me now in prayer. If you're comfortable, you can close your eyes. Slow down your breathing and become calm and still. If I'm feeling uncertain or conflicted, I take it as a sign to move my focus from the thoughts of my mind to the wisdom of my heart. So moving from our head to our heart, take another slow, deep, centering breath, breathing in through your entire body. As we inhale, feel the peace, love, and joy within. As we breathe out, gently release stress, worry, and doubt. From our heart, we pray for peace in the world. And to have peace in the world, we need peace in our country. And to have peace in our country, we need peace in our state. And to have peace in our state, we need peace in our town. And to have peace in our town, we need peace in our neighborhood. And to have a peaceful neighborhood, we need peace in our home. And to have a peaceful home, we need peace in ourselves. So we pray for peace in ourselves and our communities. We offer prayers of peace for every home here in the United States and around the world. We pray to let the light within ourselves shine forth so that we may treat everyone, regardless of the situation or circumstance, with respect, kindness, and love. In doing so, we treat ourselves with respect, kindness, and love. We now release these prayers in silence. We are healed and strong, healthy and whole, in our body and in our soul. And we give thanks in advance for answered prayers, and we say, thank you, God. And so it is. Amen. Let us stay in a centered state to read the daily word. The daily word is brave. Through the power of God within me, I am brave. If I want to have a greater, more expansive experience of life, I must be brave and move beyond the trepidations that hold me back. I do not judge myself for hesitating, but I do not let it stop me. Instead, I take my reluctance as a cue to call upon the strength of God within to push me past my fear and move forward. So much life lies on the other side of my fear. I believe I am meant to live a fully satisfying life. whether I am interested in having grand adventures or simply stepping out of my comfort zone and trying new things. I can rely on the divine within as I summon the courage to do new things. I affirm, I am brave. As this becomes the truth of my heart, my experience of life expands. From 2 Timothy chapter 1, verse 7, "For God did not give us a spirit of cowardice, but rather a spirit of power and of love and of self-discipline." We will now take this focus into meditation.
Summertime, and the living is easy. Fish are jumping, and the cotton is high. Oh, your daddy's rich, and your mama's good looking. So hush, little baby, don't you cry. One of these mornings, you're gonna rise up singing. Then you'll spread your wings and you'll take to the sky. But till that morning, there's a nothing can harm you. With Daddy and Mammy standing by.
And I just invite you to get comfortable in your seat. Take a few gentle breaths. Let your chair and the floor support you. Know that right now this is the perfect place for you to be, right here, right now, having this experience. And know you may choose to follow my words, or you may choose to go elsewhere. Wherever you go will be perfect. And in this room, this virtual room, right here where you are seated, there is love, there is joy, and there is hope and power, for Spirit is present. Take a moment now to feel yourself being present to this moment. Godness is present in you, as you, and as all those around you. And for the next few moments, I invite you to bring your mind to any person, group, or any other that you have seen as perhaps an adversary, or maybe even an enemy at times. It may be someone you know personally, or it may be someone or a group you simply know of. But in this peaceful, centered place, Look upon them in your mind's eye and see the truth of who they are. They may be hiding their divinity under veils of illusion. In other words, they may not be remembering that they are divine. But you can hold the true vision for them. See them not as a threat or anyone to fear, but as divine creations of spirit. See their fear, their lack thinking, their egos, their adolescent consciousness. But then see beyond that to the truth. Let your compassion spread to them. And as you continue to see the truth of your so-called former adversary, know that they may be in your life for a positive purpose. They may be your teachers, here to give you an opportunity to practice love and clear sight at a most high level. They are a gift to you. What might that gift be? And as you open yourself to that question, the answers will come from spirit within. You intuitively will know how to relate, connect, or disengage and release. You will know how best to handle this relationship. For you remember who you are. You remember who the divine other is. And you remember that we are all divine. There is only good, godness. And here in your mind's eye, you see the world not as it appears to be, but as we would like it to be. And we can start with ourselves. I see divine life energy flowing through me, flowing freely and bringing health and healing and harmony to every cell and organ and system in my body. I feel that divine life energy pulsing through me. I visualize my outer appearance coming into alignment with my inner perfect balance. I feel light and free. And as I look around me, I see abundance of all that I could possibly ever need or desire. I see beauty in my surroundings. I see faces of loved ones, friends and family, and we are openly sharing our affection for each other. We're supporting each other. I feel a connection to all of these people. And as I move about in my mind's eye, I see strangers, people I don't know, but they're smiling and they're polite and compassionate. I see them at peace. I see all drivers traveling in peace, all urgency evaporated. I see patience and understanding being expressed. I see helping hands and loving service. I see everyone living from that secure place where they know the truth that it is truly an abundant universe. And in an absence of fear, I see sharing. I see everyone having all the food they want and need. I see all the divine wisdom within everyone being used for good, expressing ideas that bring food and services, healthcare and loving companionship to everyone on the planet. I see, in the absence of fear and lack thinking, the end of greed, the cessation of war and hostilities. I see everyone experiencing the joy of giving and receiving love. I see heaven on earth right now. If we can see it in our mind's eye, it can be achieved. It can be achieved. And so it is. So I just invite you to take a few more gentle breaths. Continue to feel that life energy flowing through you, all the way out to your fingers and your toes and the tip of your nose. And take your time, but when you're ready, you can gently open your eyes, feeling alert, yet relaxed, energized, and at peace.
You'll remember me when the west wind moves among the fields of barley. You can tell the sun in his jealous sky when we walked in fields of gold. So she took her love for to gaze a while among the fields of barley. In his arms she fell as her hair came down among the fields of gold. Will you stay with me? Will you be my love among the fields of barley? And you can tell the sun in his jealous sky when we walked in fields of gold. I never made promises lightly, and there have been some that I've broken, but I swear in the days still left, we'll walk in fields of gold. We'll walk in fields of gold. I never made promises lightly, and there have been some that I've broken, but I swear in the days still left, we'll walk in fields of gold. We'll walk in fields of gold. Many years have passed since those summer days. remember me when the west wind moves among the fields of barley. You can tell the sun in his jealous sky when we walked in fields of gold. When we walked in fields of gold. When we walked in fields of
Oh, that was beautiful. Thank you. Ah, good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Well, however all that works. Hi, everybody. I'm so glad to be here this morning. And it was kind of the hint, the first song that you did there, the summertime one. Oh, I like that. Because I don't know about, I didn't think I lived that farther north than the rest of you, but the leaves are turning where I am, and they were falling yesterday. And I went, oh my goodness, I guess summer is maybe kind of looking in my rearview mirror. So that's what I was thinking about this week. And we in Minnesota, we like our summers, don't we? Perhaps if we lived in San Diego, it wouldn't be such a big deal. But for us, it's like we really love it. And I'm with you on that. And so I was making a list of all the things about summer that I really enjoy. And so one of the things was beauty, because there's the flowers that come, we don't have flowers all year round. And thank you, all of you gardeners who make beautiful flowers, and the vegetable gardens and all of that. And I love the beauty, the green that we have here, and walking around the lakes or just going for walks in the neighborhood and checking out everybody's neighbors' gardens and everything. It just makes me feel good. And I realized that for some of you, maybe it used to be me too, weren't quite as fond of some of the other seasons, especially the one that you try and get away from, that white one. But the thing I was thinking about, there's beauty in all the seasons. We know that. And it's kind of what we focus on. We get to choose. We can use everything. I use everything as a spiritual practice, in case you aren't catching on, because I need the practice. So I figure my whole life and pretty much all my thoughts, you could use them as a spiritual practice. So I use the seasons and looking at them and seeing the end of summer as a spiritual practice of what I can carry over into the other seasons. So it's going to be the appreciation of beauty. And whether fall, it's pretty easy. And this fall, I've heard, is going to have great color. So I love that. I'm already making plans to go to Jay Cook Park. Oh, it's going to be great. And the winter has beauty as well. And if you don't know what it is offhand, if you're one of those, then just ask a good question. I wonder what the beauty of winter is like. And you'll get answers. You'll start seeing it. We know that. If we ask a good question, we get good answers. So that was one thing that was this summer. The summer also taught me to stop arguing with reality sometimes, because beautiful summer day, and I'm excited to get out and about, and then we had the experience of some smoke. Didn't we not this year? And it's like, okay, nature, Canada is burning, and that's just kind of the circle of life of trees and all that kind. I get that, but it was like, and so I learned to not resist that quite so much. And then I just got back from a vacation out in Montana, Glacier Park, and I was very proud, because not once did I say out loud, I could really see that mountain range better if, which would have been true. But it was like, no, look what you can see. Look what you can enjoy. And so it's the practice of me not arguing with what is. I figured that I can continue on as well. And then the other things in summertime, it's like there's a lot of, I do more movement. I don't know about you, but it's like you get out walking and hiking. Some of you golf, do those things. And I realized I used to have an old thought, because I heard myself saying it, and that is, exercise without pleasure is self-torture. I don't know if any of you, but I have these little micro thoughts that are in my head sometimes I don't even pay attention to, because I try to notice what I'm thinking, but there's some thoughts that just get in because they've been in there for such a long time that I really believe them to be true. And I went, that's not true. you can do things that of other forms of exercise, and I've been doing other forms of exercise lately because I just took up sailing. And I didn't know I was going to take up sailing, but I am. And I thought it was going to be meditative, like you'd just be out. The meditative part would be you'd just be, the wind would just send you along in the water. The sailors are all laughing, aren't you? Then the sailors really explained to me the meditative part is you have to stay focused every moment because constantly there's something you need to be doing, which involves a lot of work, up and down and crawling underneath stuff and not getting hit in the head. There's all these things that go into sailing I did not know about. That's like, well, that's a major exercise. So anyways, I'm going to bring more movement into the rest of the season now that summer's passed. And I'm going to continue to enjoy eating. I do like eating in the summertime because you eat with your hands more. Oh, it's more, watermelon, whatever it might be, s'mores, you cook, and you eat things that you might not eat the rest of the year, but because you're cooking it over a fire, you go, oh, it's okay, and that's, because I don't, and so I'm going to take that in because I'm going to bless everything I eat all year round, and I'm going to continue to eat with my fingers because it's just more fun. And then I was thinking too, because, well, I'm speaking for myself, but we try to get a lot of wonderful things into this season that we have, because it seems that it's only 3 months long in Minnesota. And we want to get as much into it as we possibly can, which I thought perhaps that's a good thing to do with life, period. Thomas Merton said, in considering priorities, it is imperative to consult your death, which I thought that's kind of odd to say. But what he's talking about, we all have a use by date. We don't know what that is. And you don't think about it when you're younger. When you get to be a little more mature, as I'm getting, you do realize that we probably have a use-by date, which is okay. I'm not concerned because I know we're eternal beings and all that. I got that. But it does remind me that I don't want to waste my time doing things that are not terribly important. So if you come to my house now, do not write your name in the dust on my tables because that would be just not nice. But to do. But it was, Greg Lavoie did kind of some research with patients who were given a finite amount of time, by their doctors that said you have this much time. And they said initially they felt kind of devastated by that proclamation, true or not. But they said, again, eventually they felt liberated because what it allowed them to do was rearrange their priorities. And he said they were no longer going to do priorities that were an insult to the brevity of life and the preciousness of life. I like that. Hence, the dusting has kind of gone down on my list because it's not that big a deal anymore. And then I was thinking Joseph Campbell, the mythologist, and he said, people say that what we're seeking is a meaning for life. He says, I don't think that's what we're really seeking. I think what we're seeking is an experience of being alive, of the rapture of being alive, to bring as much life into every moment that we have. Because I definitely don't want to sleep through life. And you don't have to hear that you have a finite amount of time to decide to liberate yourself, to set priorities that bring you joy and their gusto and all those good things. Lao Tzu says, a man with outward courage dares to die. A man with inward courage dares to live. Helen Keller says life is either a daring adventure or nothing. Now, I'm not thinking I'm going to take up bungee jumping or, free climbing or anything like that. But I'm going to make sure that the choices that I'm making for my life are alive, that I'm doing things that bring me joy. Because quite honestly, I like my own company. I have a very comfortable recliner and a color TV. I could be very contented because those things are enjoyable for me, but probably not bringing me the gusto that if I go out and try some new things like sailing or whatever it might be, there's a new experience, a new aliveness that's coming in. So I want to make room for that. And I was thinking about it. I was at a concert recently in Cold Spring, a small town outside of St. Cloud, and it was an Elvis tribute band. No, it wasn't. That was the wrong one. I've been to many bands lately. That was the Beatles tribute band, yes, because I knew all the words to all the songs in that. And it was fun because it was outdoors. The town has a brand new kind of stage, you know, and you bring your lawn chairs, you know, you all do that kind of thing and sit and listen to the concerts. And there was a young boy, I'm thinking maybe 7 or 8, and he was kind of pulling and tugging on his grandma a little bit. And they went up right in the front, right between the stage and the people's lawn chairs, and he was going to dance. And so Grandma danced with him. Grandma danced the entire concert. I'm thinking she was pooped, but I'm thinking, yes, that's what you do. If you have a grandson that wants to dance, you dance with him, don't you? You don't pass up that moment for anything. That is, and it just brought me such joy watching her. And it wasn't because they were fantastic dancers. That wasn't the issue at all. It was they were alive, present in that moment with each other. And every time she looked like she was about ready to, you know, kind of gently say, you know, perhaps we should sit down, he pulled her back up again. They danced the whole time. It was fabulous. And it reminded me, I remember my brother was telling me that when his children were, he had 3 teens at one time. And when the oldest was old enough to go out at, you know, by themselves at night and then come back in. Now, mom, they'd go to bed, but mom would lay awake in bed waiting till she could hear that he was home. My brother, sound asleep, you know, he figured it'll be fine. But what would happen is when his oldest would come home initially, he would, you know, knock on the door and say, I'm home. They knew, but you know, he'd do that. And then he would come in and he'd sit on the edge of the bed. And it was kind of clear he wanted to talk about what had been going on because he was very excited about everything that happened that evening. And my brother said he had enough consciousness to know, go ahead and wake up because this is a special moment in time. It won't happen forever. And this is going to be this little capsulated time that you're going to have with your son, where he wants to tell you everything that's going on in his life and enjoy it. And you can sleep when he has children and can't sleep. And that's exactly kind of how that's worked out. But I loved that. And then when I was at this I noticed in summertime, some of us tend to wear brighter colors. And I realized I'm wearing black today and talking about this. I don't know what that means, but yeah, that's all right. But the point being is, allow yourself to, do not wear the colors that might match your mood sometimes. Okay? So if you're feeling down, wear a bright color. Allow yourself to be seen. Because we do that in summer. We tend to wear the more light and vibrant stuff. And so it's like, do that. Again, be the grandma that goes up in front of hundreds and hundreds of other people and dances. Because that's what is being called for in the moment to live your life fully. We don't have to be cool. I've taken up square dancing, trust me. I'm no longer cool. I'm having a lot of fun. Who knew? It's just great. And then the other thing I was thinking this summer is we get to take time to relax and just be. Lao Tzu said, you know, vacations are great, but you shouldn't, he said, you want to learn about new places, see new things, that's fabulous. But if you're going on vacation to relax and get away from something, perhaps the practice is to learn to relax right where you are and see that you can do that and be at peace and joy. And there's a story I was thinking of. It said, once upon a time, there was a king who seemed to be tossed about by life. He got upset when things went wrong. He got puffed up and filled with himself when things went well. And he didn't like either feeling. He wanted to be more calm in the challenging times and less puffed up with ego when things went well. So he called all the wise folks and his sages in and gave them a command. I need you to craft me a saying, something short that I can have inscribed on the inside of this ring that will give me comfort in times of trouble and perspective in times of plenty. So off the sages and the wise folks went, and they worked and they argued a bit and disagreed, but finally they came up with a saying and presented it to the king. They handed him the ring, and inscribed inside it, it said simply, "And this too shall pass. And this too shall pass." So if life is absolutely fabulous, which I'm in that phase right now, my life is fabulous. I have an abundance of love. I have an abundance of friends and family. I have an abundance of activities. I am in a high point, and I am wringing out of that all the life I can get. And I'm not holding on to it tightly, because and this too shall pass, because there will be times when things will come in that will not be my preference. I know that, because I've been around a while. We know that life has that, ebbs and flows. And so right now, in the highs, I'm enjoying them thoroughly and letting them flow through. And then when times of challenge or not my choice comes in, I will know that that's also moving through and that it's all temporary. And and when things are coming through that aren't our preference, I'm going to look for ways that perhaps I can change what's happening. Or I'll appreciate just what is. I'll declutter it as best I can, bless it all, and just be in the moment. And in the moment, too, this summer, I was outside a lot and I'm meeting new people and appreciating everyone that I would come across. And I love that Gandhi said, if you don't find God in the next person you meet, don't waste your time looking for him further. It's traditional language, but you get the drift here. If we can't see the divine in the people around us, don't be straining to try and find it somewhere else. It's right here. And I love that. And Ernest Holmes was one of my favorite New Thought teachers, said, I have seen the drunkard lying in the gutter and the saint kneeling in ecstasy before the high altar of his faith, but I have found no difference. Ooh, that's pretty good. He went on to say in Signs of Mind, when Jesus said, resist not evil, he meant that non-recognition of evil is the only way to avoid it. I like the language, non-recognition of evil. This is true according to the law of cause and effect. For what we persist in recognizing, we persist in holding in place. That which we non-recognize, we neutralize. And it is no longer there so far as we are concerned. Some really important caveats in there. The non-recognition doesn't mean I deny something. It just means non-recognition to me is non-focus. And it says when I non-recognize evil, whatever you want to call that in that moment, it neutralizes it for me. It may still be there for others, but for me, I'll be able to be at peace. And there are times when I may be coming across something that is not to my liking, and I am feeling the urge to do something about it, and I will feel that, and that will be mine to do. But if that is not the case, then I'm going to move, hopefully, into this non-recognition state, where it no longer is on my radar, and I am at peace and then expressing peace. There's a Buddhist saying that Buddha nature is present in all beings, but covered by veils of illusion. I've always liked that. And some people have a lot of veils. And that's okay. It goes on to say, husbands, wives, bosses, employees, and children are to be embraced and treasured for the difficulty they bring. Oh, they know. They say, transforming conflict into understanding is precisely the idea of walking on a spiritual path. So all these people that are in our lives, the easy ones and the challenging ones, they're all here for us to embrace and use as a practice to be more loving. And I love that. And it's nothing new. All the wise teachings say this. Course in Miracles says, what you perceive in others, you are strengthening in yourself. Well, that means that I really want to say what I'm focused on in somebody else, because it's going to be then coming in me. I like that a lot. So I close with a prayer of compassion. Great Spirit, help me recognize that the jerk who cut me off in traffic last night is the single father who just worked a double shift in order to buy Christmas presents for his kids and is now rushing home to cook dinner, help with homework, do the laundry, and spend a few precious moments with his children before they go to bed. Help me to remember that the pierced, tattooed, disinterested young man who can't make change correctly is a worried 19-year-old college student balancing his apprehension over final exams with his fear of not getting his student loans for the next semester. Remind me, Great Spirit, that the scary-looking bum begging for money in the same spot every day is imprisoned by addictions that I can't imagine even in my worst nightmares. Help me to remember that the old couple walking annoyingly slow through the store aisles and blocking my hurried shopping progress is savoring each moment, knowing that based on the biopsy report she got back last week, this may be the last Christmas they go shopping together. Help me to open my heart to all humanity. Let me be slow to judgment and quick to patience, empathy, and love. And so it is.
Birds flying high, you know how I feel. Sun in the sky, you know how I feel. Breeze drifting on by, you know how I feel. It's a new dawn, it's a new day, it's a new life for me, and I'm feeling good. I'm feeling good. Fish in the sea, you know how I feel. River running free, you know how I feel. Blossom on a tree, you know how I feel. It's a new dawn, it's a new day, it's a new life for me, and I'm feeling good. Dragonfly out in the sun, you know what I mean, don't you know? Butterflies all having fun, you know what I mean. Sleep in peace when day is done, that's what I mean. And this old world is a new world and a bold world for me. Stars, when you shine, you know how I feel. Scent of the pines, you know how I feel. Oh, freedom is mine, and I know how I feel. It's a new dawn, it's a new day, it's a new life. It's a new dawn, it's a new day, it's a new life. It's a new dawn, it's a new day, it's a new life. It's a new life for me, and I'm feeling good. I'm feeling good. I'm feeling
Wow, I think that's the word that I can say about that. Thank you very much for the lesson and the meditation today. We are so grateful, from the first person who turned the light switch on here today to the person who turns it off and everything in between. The tech team, the musicians, the people online, the scientists and the engineers who created Zoom so we can do this crazy thing, and XL Energy who provides lighting in our building. Sometimes the simplest things are right in front of us, and we don't have to look for things to be grateful. So now it is time in our service to bless our offerings. Now, we bless those, of course, who are able to share their resources with monetary donations and things of that sort. We also are blessed by those who care for the building, and those who help teach the children, and those who mow the lawn, and those who change light bulbs, and every other gift, helping with family table, all those things. We are blessed by the people online that log in and join us today. We are certainly blessed by those of you here in person, and for all who support us with prayer. We believe it is not one kind of offering, but rather a blending of all these gifts, big or small, many or few, physical, spiritual, or emotional, but a blending of all these gifts that truly make us Unity North Spiritual Center. So together, divine love flowing through me now blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. I am grateful. The souls each of us chant.
Infinite blessings, praise the Creator, thy will is mine.
All right, we've got announcements, community news, as mentioned earlier. Nancy Helvig is our prayer chaplain. Julie Hollingsworth is our healing facilitator. Reverend Kathy's 35-5 anniversary party. Again, this is not a retirement party. She wanted me to kind of start zooming in on this a little bit, as it is, I believe, 2 weeks away on the 27th. So this is hosted actually by Reverend Kathy and the Board of Trustees. It's 6 to 9 at night here at Zoom. There's a love offering, of course, and we're all very familiar with that. The event is free, but we do need to know how many people are coming, so be sure to register. You can also just RSVP Kathy. The party begins at 6, appetizers in the social hall, then we'll move into here at 6:30 and let the people online log in and share this part of the service or the party with stories and different things like that. We've got people lined up to share stories. Reverend Kathy will share her story. Then we'll have some music with Amy and Adams, sing-along the Beatles songs and Everly Brothers. Those were famous bands back in the old day for those of you that aren't old enough. Then the Zoom will end, and then we'll return to the social hall for dessert. I think chocolate cake, so all those on Zoom will have envy. And all are welcome to attend. Truly join us for this celebration of 35 years of ministry for Reverend Kathy and 5 years here at Unity North. So it's a 35-5. Just a reminder, for prayer requests, you can put them in the box, in the bowl back by the narthex there. If you could have them in by about 10:25, and Cindy can bring them up, and those can be prayed over. There's also a prayer box by the Buddha in the back hallway. Now, those are read here by the prayer chaplain, and at the end of the month, they're sent to Silent Unity, where they're also prayed over for a month. Healing Sessions Demystified. Sunday, October 5th, right after service, the 5 healing facilitators, for those of you who have never gone through a healing service or seen a Reiki master or those type of things. I was a bit skeptical when I first found Unity. I came from a traditional, very positive religious background. And then some things changed my mind on that. So if you were where I was at and you're just curious about it, rather than booking a full appointment and committing to a full private session, this would be your opportunity to come and see how this works and experience how this works. And the beauty of this situation is you can be a participant in it, or you can be an observer to just kind of take notes and go, oh, well, that's not at all what I thought it was. Or it's exactly what I thought I was, now I have confirmation. But at least you'll get your question answered one way or another if you're the least bit curious. But just being here, like even in the drumming, you can sit there and not even drum and you just get swept up in it. So come and join in this magnetic field, and that can actually be a healing and transformative time. New class in October. These are my favorite types of classes. Reverend Kathy will start off with a lesson on Sunday during the service, and then we have the follow-up class to expand on that concept and theme on Wednesday night. And then that repeats itself for 5 weeks. I enjoy these because it gives me a few days to think about the lesson, and I prepare for the class on Wednesday, where a lot of times I got to go back and review that lesson, and then life gets busy, and I don't get back to it. And then the next Saturday or Sunday morning, I go, I didn't look at the last one. I really like that one. So I like this approach. Look at that. That'll be coming up in October, which apparently is not that far away, as somebody may have referenced. The party situation is kind of coming to an end. We've got a couple left. There'll be more coming in November. There's a class, and we'll go into more details of that as we get closer to that. So all this information on anything can be found at our website, of course. You can log in there and get any questions answered. You can always talk to one of us if you have further questions that aren't answered online. I think that's a wrap. Will join me in the community affirmation, please. Centered in prayerful intention, we give thanks for an overflowing abundance of spiritual awakening, prosperity, new members, and children for Unity North Spiritual Center. And please stand for the prayer of protection. The light of God surrounds us. I am the light of God. The love of God enfolds us. I am the love of God. The power of God protects us. I am the power of God. The presence of God watches over us. I am the presence of God. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. Please join us in the peace song.
Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be, with God as our creator, family all are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my joyous vow. To take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me.
All right, thank you. And again, a special thanks for Reverend Barb for being here today. And